they would still be VP favored, but maybe not as many hopping on the boat.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, Skyrath unfortunately has really seen. He's like one of the few who have not been picked maybe at all this league. This league has actually seen a pretty crazy amount of heroes pulled from the pool. I mean, we've had a Techies not long ago. What is it? Probably like Pudge and Skyrath. There's a couple of the heroes I have not seen.
We did have one Skyrath mage from Liquid. It failed miserably.
Yeah?
But
Okay.
let's just forget that that ever happened. I think they're trying to do that as well. But
Right.
I'm going to be curious to see if this Tusk decides to rotate on this Axe when he starts creep cutting and playing that efficiency game. All these strength offlaners that are usually a little bit too beefy to bring down in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, that their health pool just doesn't look like it should when you're playing against that Tusk tag team. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out as one of the early rotations. And Resolution's been doing a great job of just getting so much early farm, so much early momentum, and taking over the game on these game pace setting offlaners like Axe. He's been doing a really good job with that, so I want to see them shut that down.
His Axe, his Pango, I've been seeing him sport a lot of these prominent off-lane pickups in this meta and do a fantastic job. You know, the cores of recent who have shifted over to the 3 position have found a pretty good home there. Just have to kind of work out the challenges of the different laning phase. You know, whether they came from the mid lane, it's not as dynamic as the 1v1. You have outside influence coming in with those supports, but the grind of farm is essentially the same, and he knows the objective at hand and has been around the block to know, you know, what kind of win conditions are necessary to get the job done. And now he's going to be paired with the Phoenix, and we're not, you know, going to be seeing the Tusk at the moment down there, but he's hanging up north to give Solo some trouble instead. And mid lane matchup is the Storm versus DK. So
Both should be doing well here.
Yeah, they'll both get their own, but really once the level 6s start coming together, we might see Storm look elsewhere to get in some action, while DK may look to siege forward and put his eyes on the tower instead.
Yeah, some games in that last pick you have to go for like a hard lane counter. In other games you just have to round out your game plan. And here they didn't really have any sustained damage on the side of VP. They only had really that initial volley of spells, and they also didn't have any tower push. And DK gives you both of those things. It also gives you a frontliner that you can set up on for the Chronos, for the Axe call. So even though it may seem like, hey, they had this last pick, why aren't they shutting down this Storm in the mid lane? Both heroes have 8 out of 8 CS, by the way. It is all more about rounding out their game plan. And really important when you're picking this last hero to ask yourself, you know, is our game plan solidified? Do we have all the tools we need later on? And if so, you can begin to prioritize those hard lane counters. But sometimes you just got to take priority here, as VP have shown with this DK last pick. I don't think I've ever seen 2 heroes have basically perfect CS.
Yeah, they're doing great. No one maybe just barely etching ahead, scoring the deny. But, yeah, they're definitely putting on a showing. And typically I would see no one play more of those eccentric mid laners who do like the lane advantage and the flashiness, to see him kind of, you know, flex his ability to also pick what's necessary for the game, and a strong-headed DK also should do well for VP here as he leads, you know, a bit further in the CS game. Not really sure where we're going to be seeing the first bit of action. It's bottom Rezo starting to cut the wave as you do on your Axe. And we'll have to see if Viking really have any answers for this at all. I'm sure Chen is not looking to get too close.
It has to be the Tusk, and it's a matter of when he decides to rotate. And that's what I'm curious about, because if you leave Toby alone, Pangolier not so strong without the Tusk, but those two in tandem we've seen already quite potent.
Yeah, for now though, Tusk hanging by the side of Toby to assist him. Would it have been bad just to have straight up Chen go top lane and Tusk go bottom? You know, Chen as a pairing to the off lane and not having easy access to, I guess, the caps up top. He still has camps, you know, down below. Would it have been the worst thing ever to have Chen just come straight top? Toby's been in trouble top lane, by the way. Woohoo! Has to jump back a bit.
Does have a salve.
And he will salve up, but that was a little too close for comfort.
He leveled time dilation on ILTW. That's interesting. Doesn't seem like the best lane to punish their spells. Both of their spells are, you know, about 15-second cooldown, so usually they're not going to use 2 volleys of them. This Courier, oh my god, it missed uphill.
Deep. My goodness.
It walked into tower range, and then the tower missed. I don't think I've ever seen that, because the creeps from that Resolution was dragging game vision of the Courier. and then it walked in that slight sliver of tower range. That's funny.
He had to pull it back so far because the Chen was chasing it down initially, and then they eventually pulled back. Top lane, skirmish yet again. Full cold feet committed here, and he's trying to fight forward on the Tusk. Pops the Fairy Fire and doubles back. Oh, man, yet to get that first strike, that first blood, but, man, these lanes are starting to flirt a bit.
Yeah, you can tell how much kill potential there is top within this Viking GG duo, but also, like, you're seeing it because those two cores have the lowest CS out of everyone in the game. Both cores in the top lane at the bottom of the core charts.
The core charts.
Yeah, the charts of the cores.
Now, I get what you're picking
If you
up.
know what I mean.
I think I get what you're meaning there, BSJ. Will Tusk go back to the top lane, though, or will he assist in dealing with this Axe problem bottom because Rezo's getting huge? He's 33 CS.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind either decision, but just I wouldn't mind if he walks somewhere, to be honest. Oh, he's getting recalled bottom. That's really good.
That's the maximum efficiency play.
Yeah, that's really – I forgot that part about Chen in this case.
He stole that from my Coddle, but it's fine. Coddle's got plenty going for him now, and with this rotation, we'll see if they can find a setup. Phoenix, though, is already out the other side, so this opportunity may be gone, as Rezo, I'm sure, anticipates.
That's a dire ward.
Yeah, people
and
coming by.
Ward. There's two of them there.
Yeah, they see each other. But Rezo's like, I see you too, and he just heads out towards the safety of where his comrades are in the mid lane.
Did they not see him plant the ward? Because the Radiant ward had full vision of that area when that dire ward was planted. So even though he has a sentry on Celery, he has not chosen to de-ward, or he doesn't know about it.
This is really awkward, but I guess space for Wraith King bottom. He's all by himself while this is going on.
They are effectively shutting down the Axe, but the beneficiary of this is
Toby top lane.
ILTW. Yeah, as you're seeing him just get bullied now.
Yeah, Toby's got to take the long corner out. He does snipe a creep there, but yeah, it's definitely getting a little awkward in these side lanes with some of the rotations from these supports.
Pangolier's a hero you don't worry about him after he gets level 4 or 5. You can kind of just leave him to his own devices. Once he gets 6, he'll be impactful. He does feed the courier. Quite generous of him coming out from Toby there.
Real nice.
We've seen a lot of teams just kind of ditch their Pangolier once he hits level 4, so prioritizing the other lanes, especially when you have this Axe snowballing with the CS. He's already level 5 on the 6.
Move. It's mid lane, sets up the shards, decent damage. Storm's got that level 6. AA's here, but you know, what can he really do to save the DK? Not a whole lot. So your first blood finally comes out at about 6.5 minutes in. The second blood soon to follow. It's Toby going down. He'll join his courier in the fountain.
I think he just got sniped by Zayak there. I don't think there was any fancy gank. He just knew he was low because Toby's been sitting there with that small health pool, no salve or anything, and he just gets him on the Phoenix. Little nice pickup there. Gonna stack some camps. This is the benefit of Dire. If you are a Dire support in your pubs, for the love of God, please stack these camps. I've seen it every single game.
What if I told you supports that you get a piece?
You get 35%.
You get a piece of that. There's a tax. There's a support tax that they put in.
Rezo and all the other offlaners will love you after
and
they've already reported you for not being in lane with them.
And now some neutral items come out. Poor man's shield.
That's a nice item for Axe.
Yes, it is. He'll pocket that one, I'm sure. And then a Jelly and an Iron Talon for the other
Zayak even
side.
got a full level off that. And he gets to take the offlaner's lane because of it. What a crazy concept coming out from these supports.
Life is just so great now.
Yeah, if you make it great, you know, it's all what you make it.
Great.
You have to make lemonade out of lemons.
I've seen the side where as a support you make all those stacks and you can't get the core over there to farm it. Like, hey, look at all the money over there. Don't you want that?
At that point, that's when you just move on. You know, you accept that you did your job. You can feel good that it's not your fault.
Yeah, I'm speaking for some of you supports out there that do your jobs, but sometimes the cores don't pick it up. Whatever the case may be, the cores in this game in Virtus.pro picking it up a lot. Rezo, you know, completes the phase boots. He's going straight for the Blink Dagger. He's got momentum. He wants to dish out.
Yeah, he's rich. He also triple stacked this other big camp, so he's gotten an influx of like 1,200 gold in a matter of 2 minutes, which is just huge.
Yeah, this could be a problem. Comparatively, you know, Toby is not on the same wavelength in terms of net worth, so he's got quite the catch-up to go, and we could just see Virtus.pro start to swell up in this mid-game. Chen probably should consider muscling his way to level 6 as soon as possible if they want to have any sort of sustain to answer that impact that could come from the Axe. And, you know, Tusk has rotated around. He was successful in that mid lane DK gank. Now looking for another setup, potentially bottom. Rezo quick to run the other direction, which is a good heads-up play from him. But here comes the Storm. He's bringing the firepower, and they'll be able to secure a finish. That's a great kill for them. That will prolong that Blink Dagger a bit.
Tusk is just so good, man. Him +1 is always enough damage. There really is no hero in the game that can tank through it. And you're seeing this Axe, right? Level 7, Phase Boots Bracer, and a shovel for that extra 100 health.
1340 life. It honestly looked like he was a support going
Yeah,
down.
that's what I mean.
Quite crazy.
75 damage on all attacks. That's double damage for Tusk.
Yeah,
that's like almost double damage for Storm.
Is that worthy of the Frog looking at a bit closer?
It is indeed.
Oh, the Frog's going to have to take a peek at that guy a bit.
I think it's like the mana cost or something. It's just something about the ability needs to be nerfed. A while back, it used to be 15 seconds at all levels. Now they did nerf that when it initially got changed from the sigil to that. But at this point, we've reached that.
Yeah, 70 seconds is pretty nice. It's like, you know, a gank a minute is pretty fair. But it is pretty low mana cost. Yeah, I don't know how you tweak it up, but right now Tusk is feeling so damn good as a 4 to start muscling down this tankier meta.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. The fact that it applies on crits too, maybe that's the nerf they need to give it, but it applies on your punch. So now that you have this Walrus Punch of 350% crit damage, that tag team at max level is another 350 extra damage on one ability, which is a little insane here as we see a gank onto ILTW top.
He's going to crack his knuckles right now. The snowball moves forward. Can they get Void out somehow? The pull back, the punch? Certainly not. He goes down so fast, there's no chance for a time walk.
That Void also has 1,300 health and died instantly. Smoke up from VP. Looking to play around their DK as a response to the gank top. Makes sense. Boom has already TP'd to the mid lane to defend it, so he might be the victim.
Yeah, they got to know something's going on. DK's already in his dragon form. There's VP members missing off the map. He just hit a stun on the Storm. Something's fishy here. They go for the pullback, but Reinforcement's not quite ready and in position.
Yeah, Void TP'd, but he's not smoked or anything. He is walking around. They do get the D ward.
Yeah, so Solo should spot out.
Shad's around here too. Has saving a point for his ult. Wow, 3,000 gold toward the Radiance already, 11 minutes into the game.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, no one did get a lot of uncontested damage right now in this mid-tier 1. We'll see if Viking are going to fight for its final stand. It looks like it could be a big one for VP. Rezo's shown up now. He does have the Blink Dagger. This is the Blink debut for Axe, and they are here as a full squad. Jump in. He goes right to the trees, and they do spot out the Wraith King. Chrono comes out, and they immediately take down the Tusk. No one's able to secure that one.
That's it.
Toby rolling in. Vikings response. The pullback on Rezo. Oh, the king of the finish. There it is. The takedown is successful. Now Wraith King's second life. Storm Spirit running a bit low on mana. Dishes out some damage from the outside now. No one running in. He has no dragon form. Hits him with the stun. But, you know, how much damage are Virtus.pro going to be able to do with this? Losing Rezo already. It's a bit awkward for him.
Yeah, LTW going for another Midas. We saw this the other day. Faces Void usually goes for this Mask of Madness or Maelstrom build, and I don't think I've ever seen any other player go Midas on really any hero. So definitely ILTW with his own interpretation of the fact that Void needs to be able to get a good amount of farm when his Chrono's on cooldown, and he goes for this Midas Diffusal Manta. So it's like this initial farm damage item with the attack speed into the more active low cooldown, working around that 160-second Chronosphere that has really dissuaded teams from picking Void because of the fact that the games are just so fast-paced right now.
And I got to say, that whole mid lane movement there from Virtus.pro was quite a bit of a letdown. They didn't even finish off the tier 1. Rezo's debut was subpar. He does get a secondary here on the Chen. No dunk, though.
It was pretty sloppy is what it felt like. They were TPing in one by one. They had two heroes smoked, but the smoked heroes were a Phoenix and an AA. That's like, you don't have your Chrono or your Blink Axe in that. Every time you smoke, I think there's usually a recipe within your roster of heroes to which one should be in the smoke. And I think Phoenix AA are definitely not the ones that should be smoked up on the side of VP. So I'm sure they'll learn their lesson from that one as they look to collapse on this mid tower once again with the Axe and the Phoenix. No smoke, but there are no wards because they got that D ward. Looks like he's well aware of this on Aramis.
And hopefully they get this done swiftly. A Lots of time for this Wraith King to continue farming up. He's getting scary close to that Radiance. Now just the recipe away. VP scouting out the Roche pit. Yes, it's standing. And yeah, with that mid-tier one going down, I'm curious what's next on the docket for them. If it's heading south and trying to take away a bit of the farm from the Viking jungle side or not. Looks like they are going to head that way. But they're kind of just still hanging out together.
DD on no one. Has the Blink Dagger queued up. So another source of initiation for them. Once he gets, he's probably going to go the Blink Dagger BKB build. He will be quite tanky. Storm Spirit's damage is almost all magical. Wraith King in the mid game is a lot of magical damage, especially not enough to chew through that 24 armor before the armlet's activated. And even Tusk Tag Team doesn't do damage through the BKB. As we see Celery potentially getting gone on here. Walks up the high ground.
Whoa!
Oh, who sees who here? Oh, they have a Radiant Ward. That's what it is on this high ground. VP is almost certainly going to be aware of that.
Smoke back for the backliners of VG here, certainly the Chen. But Virtus.pro exiting out the side door. Tusk spots a lonely little AA, and they quickly evaporate him.
Dude, Tusk just does so much damage. They get the stun.
Okay, stun on the Tusk from no one here. They try to burn him down a bit, but he just dishes out the charts. Follow-up leapfrog from Rezo to get the call, but Chen saves him with the hand of God. And Viking still holding strong here a bit. Rolling on through. Toby trying to lock the two birds on the back lines. Goes for the Phoenix Egg. Rezo's still in a bit of trouble. Has to run out the other side. Egg's going to crack. Doesn't really lock anyone down.
Yeah, it's Chrono.
Viking doing a nice job spacing themselves from Virtus.pro, and it looks like they're on the aggressive here. And as you mentioned, Faceless Void, he's trucking forward. He's like, I got a Chrono. But
Wraith King just farming in the meanwhile.
yeah, this is not great for Virtus.pro. They're not really getting a lot done, and His Majesty's farming elsewhere. Now a new approach. They spot out Toby. They're looking to burn him down while Tusk goes for the backline catch onto Rezo, looking to go for the fish. Rezo, very low, salves up, walks
that shovel
away.
value.
Not able to catch the shard to cancel it out. He's going for the bounty instead.
Zayak does bring down Toby in the back lines.
And it looks like they will get the finish. Man, Rezo can't catch a break with these dunks. That's for sure. And that doesn't feel great as an axe. You want to get those dunks going, but for now, even 5-5, but yet again, His Majesty continues to farm BSJ.
And His Majesty is going for the Assault Cuirass after the Radiance. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, I was about to say, he does probably need a BKB this game. They just have so much magical damage, so much crap to throw on the ground, even when he comes out of his reincarnation.
Yeah.
That can't imagine, even if he takes a while to die because they don't want to focus him, I can't imagine he's going to be able to dish out that much damage because of the AoE slows from the Phoenix and the AA, all the stuns on low cooldown from the DK. Yeah, they have Axe Call, but even then, and Chrono, I think you still need a BKB. He has the Imp Claw in his stash. Not as much value on a hero with innate crit, but 24 damage is always nice.
They just pinged him out. I think they know he has that Radiance from spotting the burn on that last wave. VP are heading back up north through their jungle to get some wards and a bit of vision down. But it looks like Viking could also head this direction. They have a pretty nice Roche-capable lineup if they can create space around that pit. Viking could try to move in and take it.
Yeah, this Diffusal Blade after the Midas is a bit odd just because you want to hit that timing that you can punish the Wraith King, and you're having the Diffusal Blade at the exact same time he got the Radiance. So he doesn't particularly mind fighting you at this stage, and I don't know, it's just weird. I think you would have wanted to hit that window before the Radiance comes out. We'll have to see how it plays out for him. As both teams just seem content to do nothing right now. Only 5-5 on the kill score, 18 minutes in. We've seen this kill score like 3 minutes in some of these games.
Yeah, definitely one of our slower games so far. Both teams kind of respecting that their lineups take a little extra nourishment, we'll say, to really come online and get the fireworks going. Certainly Wraith King is happy to play with the clock, but as this game continues to go on, I mean, it seems like it would favor Viking. Virtus.pro are an experienced team and certainly have experience in the later innings of Dota, especially in high tense matches. All right, Viking on the move. Smoke up, is it straight inside the pit? Yes, it is. They're going to try to snag this one.
I like this move. Should be pretty
behind
quick.
The back.
Pangolier disarm plus the minus armor from that as well as the tag team.
It's quick.
It is very fast.
It is quick. No chance at all for VP. They can ping it out, but by the time they think about looking that direction, they will see the message on the screen, and now it is going to be Boom picking up that extra life.
Yeah, this odd stalemate I think has to do with the fact that VP has these big ultimates, and they're concerned about the group of potential of Viking GG, that if they were to expend Chrono as well as the Egg, maybe Viking could just barrel down a lane. And then at the same time, Viking doesn't really want to fight them because they have all these ults. So Viking doing the smart play where they punish the fact that VP's not fighting by forcing an objective, which is the Roshan that they didn't know about. That smoke, sneaking it out a little bit. It is really quick, and they had the Radiant Ward to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Just a there's usually method to the lack of madness, I think we would see here. And from both teams' perspective, I have to imagine that's why. DK does have a Blink Dagger, or excuse me, a BKB rather than the Blink Dagger. Is that the timing for them?
I was going to say that plus Rezo's pipe, I believe is finished or soon to be finished. That Diffusal's done on Faceless Void. He's queued up a BKB next. I imagine that Virtus.pro got to feel okay to take a fight, but it's a matter of when they feel comfortable doing so. The Dragon form out now from no one here in the mid lane.
Yeah, he had to do it to kill all the skeletons from Wraith King. Otherwise, they were just going to kill the tower.
They really do care a lot for this mid-tier 1.
Mid-tier 1's the most important tower in the game, I think. At least, you know, not ignoring like tier 4s, you know.
Fair enough, yeah.
In this stage of the game, it is. It just offers so much map control, so much like information when the mid lane's pushed in, and you're naturally going to have the mid lane pushed in your favor much more often if your tower's there and theirs isn't. So notice how with the mid lane pushing in, Boom has to show mid, which tells VP that they're not doing anything. And this is the type of information that makes the tier 1 tower mid so important.
And no one will take the rest of his Dragon farm to that bottom lane. The rest of Virtus.pro have rotated their cycle of farm back up onto their side of the map. And around and around we go.
Zayax almost got an Ags, 1,000 gold off.
This is crazy.
On the Phoenix.
The last time these teams fought, they had like 3 less items on each hero.
Yeah.
They're going to be really bulked up and ready. You know, it could get to one of those kind of Dota games where they build up to this one massive fight, and that could just determine the whole game.
Becoming more and more likely the longer we go on this stalemate.
Yeah. 3 peppers, Vlad? 3 peppers? It's just game number 1.
This is like a single slice of a jalapeno pepper, you know?
It's like the stem.
Yeah. Boom,
we
goes
could
mid.
Be too harsh too early. The jumping comes out from Viking GG. They look for a grab onto Rezo. Uppercut out. He gets the call. The Ice Blast will be there. But will follow up from VP? I don't think so.
That, my friends, is why Axe is not supposed to show in lanes. As we see VP getting caught a bit, I think, lazy almost, where they're going to try to do something eventually on the side of Viking GG with this Aegis. I think, as we see another one, no one
caught out on the side. He's forced to just go full Dragon Saiyan mode. BKB and Dragon form coming out. Yeah. That was a knee-jerk reaction, just like, get off me.
Yeah, we did an interview for Matama Man yesterday, and he said, you know, your brain just slowly turns off as you hit creeps as a carry, and I'm almost getting that impression that for VP the last, like, 30 seconds or so, their brains just kind of turned off. They're like, we've been hitting creeps for 10 minutes now, and wait a minute, there's enemy heroes that can gank us, and suddenly, you know, Resolution gets picked off in the mid lane. No one walks up a hill blind when there were just 4 heroes showing mid. So a little bit weird there. First game of the day, I'm sure. Problems like that. We have seen VP kind of be sloppy in the first game of their series so far.
Yeah, that's kind of the trend, right? And VP's one of those, the trailblazer of that trend. Drop game 1, come back game 2 and 3 strong.
Yeah, that's what they're all about. And so far, I'm getting that vibe again.
Still early, you know.
Not counting them out.
I don't remember the last time Virtus.pro have even fought as 5 at this point. It's been a while. But they're bulking up for that big fight here. Long jump comes out from the back lines, but quick blink from Rezo. Double follow-up there, and he spots a weaker target in solo, but Boom has no more mana to work with. He will eat a snowball for his troubles, but at the end of the day, no harm, no foul either side. We're just going to see Viking add a little bit of soft pressure on this tier 2 and put themselves in the nearby high ground position, just in case an approach from VP does come out. But they're not coming out. They're still farming. They're prepping for that big swing. BKB being complete on ILTW may have to be the ticket. And that Ags on the bird. That will help too. Who else needs something? Everyone get your shopping list ready before we get to the big Royal Rumble.
I always thought Bloodstone provided way more regen than this. He's only got 6 mana regen on Storm.
That's probably why he made that tweet the last time no one played Storm Spirit, mentioning that.
Yeah, am I crazy?
He feels like the Bloodstone mana regen was not working. No one confirmed whether that was true or not. I think it was. Well, just
looking at the charges, it's only supposed to give him 3 mana regen. So I guess his hero by default has only 3 mana regen. You just look at a Storm in the past with Bloodstone, you'd be seeing like 30, 40, 8 mana regen, and I remember no one complaining about that. That's why I was checking it out. So that's just curious to me. I was like reading all the description of Bloodstone because I don't buy this item very often, and that just seems wrong. But you do have all the other benefits that didn't used to be incorporated into that item. As he does queue up the Orchid, that will give him some mana regen, and VP, they're looking to make use of this timing with the BKB on the Void as well.
Oh yeah, this is the time. This is what we have been waiting for. Virtus.pro running up river. They got Rezo out in front, Toby nearby. Oh, they spotted Tusk.
That's a decent target.
Yeah, he'll be a good punching bag for this gank. Will a follow-up come out from Viking? I think so, with a buyback committed.
No
it
Aegis
looks like
on
they
Storm.
want to swing, jump up from the Void. Looking to get the finish on that Storm. He's down and out.
He does have
Backlines.
buyback.
Here comes Wraith King now.
Storm bought back.
Viking hemorrhaging a couple of kills here for the start of this one. If they're trying to commit in for the fight, here comes Storm, fully resourced and ready.
on Void.
He jumps just over the Chrono to catch
sick.
the Voiceless Vine on the other side. Oh my goodness.
He's going for more. Okay, well,
that was a cute little snipe.
Could be worse. I think Viking GG, even though they lost that fight and had to buy back 2 heroes, they don't have cooldowns anymore for Virtus.pro. They use the Chrono, they use the DK form, they use the Phoenix Egg. And is this going to be go time for Viking GG? I really hope they are not complacent in the coming minute or two. As Pangolier getting stunned up a bit.
Feels like Viking recognized the cooldowns are there and should press forward with some objectives, but looks like they're not going to be able to do too much to that mid-tier 2.
They have to take something. I have to imagine they're not content. They look like they're trying to push out bottom lane because they don't want to give this trade. Arcane Rune on Storm. As we see the replay of the team fight, Storm just utilizing a little bit too much mana to get that first jump on the AA, and didn't even bring him down. He does end up going down on the AA.
This jump is really nice. It conveniently happened to be jumping.
He was already
jumping. He just happened to pick that perfect spot. Oh, hence why the tip rather came out just after.
Has the full BKB on Wraith King. Almost done with the Assault Cuirass, queuing up the Silver Edge for this DK. It's okay against Axe, but mainly for the DK. They do have a dire ward that watched Shad walk over to this Ancients, but showing how alpha he is, I'm just going to walk up and de-ward you. I heard yesterday, and it seems to be true so far, Shad really is a Chad.
Shad the Chad.
I bet he was going for that, honestly.
I like it. He is going with the rest of his team up and through the river, but adjacent to them is Virtus.pro just in their own jungle. They head high ground to invade. Will they catch anybody?
Radiance
they
cancels the blank.
A move in on Rezo as he's going for the outpost. No one committing in.
Good targeting on the Phoenix.
They're going right to the back lines. They will get the Phoenix to pop the egg. Can they crack the egg? Rezo, beautiful call to stop them in their tracks. And that means the stun's going to be there. With everyone locking them down, they're going to go for the finish. The first life of Shad could be there, and there it is. Rezo trying to hold on. He could be brought down, and he will. Here is the second life of Wraith King. Do Virtus.pro have enough ammunition to deal with them? It looks like he's going to make a hasty retreat, and they'll settle for the Chen.
That was so sick. The Storm was in mid-windup for his last attack, and no one... Storm is the only hero not hit by call, and no one stuns him on DK. That was honestly just such good awareness from all the side of VP. I like the fact that Viking GG tried to blitz down the Phoenix, but just didn't quite have enough lockdown to finish him before that egg. You see as they all go in the back lines, ignoring the Axe, or the DK and the Axe. But you're going to see this 3-man call from Rezo. Storm comes in to hit the egg and gets stunned by no one immediately.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That was just really well played. They had to execute that perfectly, and they did. No Capitalist said in this draft it's very execution heavy, and VP pressing all the right buttons there.
I don't know if they intended, but that was wonderful positioning for them as they go for the Roche. Look at Toby,
Beep, beep.
though. Get out of my pit. Shoves them back.
Is he just dead after he comes out of this?
I don't know. They're chasing him
Oh, he has
down.
blink. Okay, they didn't hit him.
Okay, now VP head back in to look to go for the finish.
Aramis is looking. Shards
Snipes
for
the
vision.
kill. Nah. ILTW will pocket the Aegis there. Virtus.pro now springing into life. It just takes one good fight, and suddenly they got to be feeling pretty nice. But good convenient positioning of the Phoenix in that recent skirmish means that Viking almost have to extend themselves through the rest of Virtus.pro to try to get the job done. And now it can be Virtus.pro comfortably crossing the river. They still have a tier 1 top lane to take down. They want some free money.
Solo just lost like 80% of his health to that ball lightning.
Yeah, life is hard as an AA when you go against a Storm.
It is not the dream matchup for sure. What's his mana regen with Oregon now? 20. Okay, that seems like a more reasonable value.
Oh, Chen. Caught on the side. Wraith King, though, huge damage on the Faceless Void. Could burn through that Aegis and does so. But Virtus.pro could be waiting for him to come back in round number 2. He has the Chrono. Do they want to commit in hard for the Wraith King?
He's just backing off on ILTW.
Yeah,
They're deciding to retreat, maybe baiting him in here.
Egg committed now. They got to go in. And they'll just sacrifice the Pango on the side of Viking GG for that egg cooldown.
It's not the most important cooldown, I'd say. As long as they get the AA ult back up and the Chronosphere is still there. Going for the butterfly on ILTW.
Jump back.
Seem to be on different pages as he time walks out.
Yeah,
during
Rezo
the
jumps
call.
in while he jumps back. Tusk moving forward, gets hit with the Dragon Tail. They're burning him down. He's done for. Follow up on
Working
the
on the
Shad.
DK. I don't think he was ready for that.
Yeah, they were definitely caught off guard by VP's approach there.
Nice chrono before he can BKB.
Yep.
They have the stun from DK. AA ult.
And AA ult should certainly put the
No
nail in the
buyback.
coffin. And yeah, without a buyback,
No fort.
His Majesty will have to take a knee for nearly a minute.
The era of his reign may be over, Dakota.
Yeah, look how
They're
much
actually not going for high ground. They don't know he doesn't have buyback. He would have a second life if he were to buy back. So they're instead electing to farm, pick up some bounty runes top and bottom.
Oh my goodness. Virtus.pro's net worth is about to like quintuple here.
It
All of
really
the bounties,
is.
the mid tier 2, they have a top tier 1 they could still go for, and tier 2s all over the place.
I don't even think they seem to care about
Oh
this
my
tier
gosh,
1.
they went from like 2K advantage to 8K.
Yeah.
That's insane.
They went from Twitch chat's average MMR to the Reddit average MMR.
Exactly. Toby, look at this man. Come back here.
Oh,
Okay,
nice
him
blink
and
dodge.
Storm, but as you mentioned, no one with the uke goes to the high ground. Nice.
Oh, and the Paladin sword on ILTW. That's so valuable because he's elected to skip all these lifesteal items. They don't even have a Vlad's. Such a fortunate neutral item drop for him. As VP seems to be... Who's looking for who here?
I don't know. It feels almost desperate for Viking to try to scrap together some kills right now and nerf the momentum of VP, but VP are feeling swole. They back off and they say, we will dictate when we want to fight. Boom has other plans, though. Spots out little Solo. The easy little ice cube is going to be tossed in the Boom drink, and now he goes for the outpost. Yeah, Virtus.pro, they got to know that they are in a big economy advantage, and we'll just wait until they're ready to fight.
Yeah, the quickening charm on Phoenix is quite nice. That egg is now only 95-second cooldown, so even better for them. And their long cooldown is really their only crutch in this entire lineup. And once they have those ultimates, I really don't know how
Toby,
Viking wins these fights.
jump call from Rezo. Doesn't
Just scaring him
immediately
a bit.
pull him back, but okay, here
Nice
comes
Jules.
Boom. Here comes Tusk. They're rolling on forward. Are they going to commit for this? Jump in from
Stacking
ILTW.
stuns.
The A going to
No
be
call.
committed. Can they get the
No chrono, no
damage
call.
done?
Oh, they don't have enough. Wow.
Oh, and they decide to turn back out. And without committing a chrono, they could still use that if necessary. Storm goes down, 70 seconds. He might just use it to secure the kill onto the Wraith King here, his second life if necessary.
Is he not going to die on
not even
CIS?
necessary.
Oh my god.
Wow. And Wraith King should fall too. He's dead. Still no buyback.
This time around, they're going to force something, as it is not only hindering on one person's buyback. It is 4 heroes down with only one of them having it.
Now they can just go mid lane, and they do a lot of damage. The repair kit trying to help out. There's the storm by. He's trying to nuke down.
No creeps, but they can finish it. They have 15 seconds. That's the mechanic of buyback, or of backdoor.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, they got plenty. They have no tier
time.
2s in the side lane, so they're going to get this and immediately back. Roche is going to be their most likely next objective.
Guys?
Did they not? Oh.
Guys, 23 life on that. Bye.
Michael Jordan?
Okay.
No? Okay, they
Right,
didn't
well,
go for it.
They'll get free extra waves, I guess. That
Yeah.
rack's still there.
You know.
I thought you last hit it. No, I didn't last hit it. I thought you last hit it.
It's definitely not worth going back and dying for, potentially, but definitely a slip up there.
That's
from
funny.
VP. I like this. So they move to take tier 2 bottom first, and then after they take this, they're going to be done with the bottom half of the map. But they
It was
actually,
all a ploy.
okay,
They baited the Tusk out.
baited me.
And forced the Tusk to
Chrono's
roll
up.
towards Rezo. They're rolling in. There's that Chrono
The
committed.
4-man Chrono!
2 of each. As they isolate the Storm and take him out first. Follow for Chen. Should be successful. Pango right in the
That Bloodthorn, man.
in the midst of it. And they'll just call game. They know they have no answer. Virtus.pro have just gotten too big and too jacked. They are the Chads in this game, and they will take game number 1, 22-10.
Yeah, well played overall. There was that stage in the game of an era of peace